Hi everyone, we're going to evaluate the given integral, and we're going to use our special integration of tan x and secant x in this problem. So these are good to know. The first thing we're going to do is just break this up a little bit. So for tan squared, I'm going to write this with my identity as secant squared x minus 1 times secant x dx. Now I'm going to distribute, and I get secant cube x dx. And then I'm going to go ahead and separate this out. So you multiply that, but I'm going to save some space and go ahead and split this up. Alright, now for secant cube, we're going to take this piece and integrate that by parts. So for that, we're going to let u equal secant x. Let's split this up a little further down. We're going to let u, so we're not going to deal with this piece right now. We're just going to deal with this piece. So we're going to have u equals secant x. Therefore, derivative of u equals secant x tan x dx. And we're going to let dv equals secant squared x, because I'm going to break this down as secant x times secant square x. Alright, so my v is just going to be tan x. Now, we're going to use our integration by parts formula. So that's going to give me udv, so that's going to be secant x tan x minus the integral of secant x tan squared x dx. Now, if I integrate, well, this first part we just still have secant x tan x minus, and I'm going to factor out, I'm going to keep my secant x here and rewrite this as secant squared x minus 1 dx. So I'm going to break this up, and I'm going to get secant x tan x minus, and when you distribute that, you're going to get secant x cubed minus the integral of secant x dx. So basically, using our formulas here, and we're going to use, should have a black here. Using this formula, what you're going to get is the integral of secant cube x dx equals 1/2 secant x tan x plus, and I'll move it down here. Let me just write it down here real quick. So it's going to be 1/2 secant x tan x plus ln of absolute value of secant x plus tan x plus c. So that part was for this first part we had. All right, and that's using our special formulas. Now we're going to finish this up. We still have minus secant x. So we have this piece, and then we still had, so let's go back to what we had. We had this secant cube x dx minus integral secant x dx. So we know the antiderivative of this piece is here by integration by parts. And then for this piece, we're just going to use this again. So this piece is just going to be minus ln of secant x plus tan x plus c. So writing it all out, you will get 1/2 secant x tan x minus ln of absolute value of secant x, and I'm just grouping this together, plus tan x, close it up, plus c. And that's your final answer. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.